Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're just joining us, my name is Mayowa, and in today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make this simple oversized baggy pants step by step. And it's a pants that you can it's super comfortable and it's so stylish. You can practically wear it when you want to make a statement. I hope you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, for today's baggy pants I'm going to be using this Ankara fabric to make mine, and I typically used about 2.5 to 3 yards to put mine together. However, depending on your size, you may need something more, but for me I used about 2.5. let's just cap it at 3 yards. So that's what I used to make mine. Anyways, today's tutorial will be the part 1 of this oversized baggy pants, and it will mostly contain the pattern cutting and the fabric cutting of this oversized baggy pants tutorial. So let's get started, guys. So guys, for today's oversized gathered pants, the first thing you need is your basic skirt block. And the reason why I'm starting with the basic skirt block is because it's just to make everything simple and more straightforward, because we already have this. Your measurement is already in your basic skirt block, so you don't really have to do too much guesswork. So everything is already here. We just have to adapt this pattern to form the shape of the trouser you are going for. Now, just in case you are wondering why I already have this drafted, that is my basic skirt block drafted. That is because I do not teach how to draft any of the basic blocks on my YouTube channel. I teach that in a separate paid class. So if it's something that you are interested in, you can always reach out to me on Instagram or tap the link above your screen to find out more about it on my website. So yeah, let's get into it. Now, first thing I'm going to be doing is to decide how long I want the trouser to be. And for me, my full length trouser is 44 inches. So from here to here is that 44 inches. Then I'm going to be using my I'll be using this pattern to cut both my front piece and my back piece. So I'll be doing the drafting of the front and the back on this same pattern. Now let's just label all these lines. This is my waist level, this is my upper hip level, and this is my hip level. Now I'm going to measure in my crotch depth level, so I'll measure that from my waist down. So to get your crotch depth level, just sit down on a flat stool, something like you're seeing in the picture. So just sit down on a flat stool and measure from your waist, that is where you place your trouser, to the top, right to the top of the stool. And so for me, my crotch depth measurement is 10 inches. So I'm going to add 3/4 inches to that, and 3/4 inch is the same thing as 0.75 inches. So my crotch depth level is now going to be 10.75 inches. So I'll just measure that from my waist down. So yeah, this is my crotch depth level right here. Now on this extended line, because I had to extend the line out just so that we can do more of all the things that we need to do. Now on this line, I'm going to measure in the front crotch line of my trouser. So you are going to use this formula. So your front crotch is going to be, let me write this here, front crotch to measurement, you get your hip measurements, then you divide it by 8, and then you're going to subtract 0.8 inches from that. So my own hip measurement is 38. I'll divide that by 8, and then I'm going to subtract 0.8. So this gives me 3.95 inches, which is approximately 4 inches. So I'm going to measure that 4 inches from here out. Now that 4 inches, I'm going to measure it out from here again, here all the way to your M line. So I'll do that. Let's measure our back crotch. Now for the back crotch, you're going to use this formula. So you get your hip measurements, you divide it by 8 again, but instead this time you're going to be adding 0.8 inches. Remember, for the front crotch we subtracted 0.8, but for this we are going to be adding 0.8. So my hip is 38. I'll divide by 8, then I'm going to add 0.8 to that. So this gives me 5.55 inches, which is approximately 5.6 inches. So I'm going to measure that 5.6 inches from this point here again. I'll measure it outside. So yeah, this is it right here. So I went ahead to measure it again here, here, here. So we have it all done. So this is my front crotch line and this is my back crotch line. Now on my crotch depth level again, at this point again, I'm going to place my tape measure this way. I'll place it diagonally this way. Then once I place it diagonally, I'm going to measure 1.6 inches upward. So I'll use my tape measure, place it diagonally, and then measure 1.6 inches upward. So yeah, this is it. Now I'm going to just place my French curve this way, and then I'll draw a curved line that'll come from my hip line here. It will touch this point and then comes back to touch this my front crotch line here. You got the drift? And this completes all we have to do for our trouser. So this is the outline of our trouser right here. So everything, it goes this way. Let me just outline it with a red pen so you can see the whole line. So yeah, this is it. So when I'm cutting my front trouser, I'll cut it this way, come here, this way, down. And then when I'm cutting the back, I'll start from here, come here, this way, down. So this would be all if we were not gathering the trouser, but since we are going to gather the trouser, we need to do some manipulations. So the adaptation I'm going to be doing next is to do the slash and spread. I know a lot of people don't like the slash and spread, but it's the best thing if you want to add volume to a pattern or to a design. That is what you need to use. So I'm going to just draw one line. So from here to here, I'll just divide this into 2. So yeah, so this one will be like this line will be, this part here, everything here will be 1, everything here will be 2, and everything here will be 3. Now I'm just going to slash this open. So I'll slash this open, cut out the darts if you want. We don't really need it, so cut it out this way. So let me just, then I'll also cut this also, then I'll cut this also out. So you got the drift. So this is it cut out. Now we need to spread it. So I'm going to just spread it by how much I want. So you can spread it by how much you want. I think I'm just going to do like 3 inches here, 3 inches here. So I'll place a piece of paper under this now just so you can see. And this is it. So 3 inches spread out, 3 inches spread out. So all I have to do now is to just add allowance. So you just add 1 inch allowance to the side, ½ inch to the waist, ½ inch to the crotch here, and here you add ½ inch, here you also add ½ inch. And this completes it. So when you're cutting, you cut your fabric like this. So when you want to cut on your fabric, you want to cut the front, you need to fold this. Remember to add allowance. So let me add the front allowance. So this is the allowance for the front here, and this is the allowance for the back here. So when I'm cutting the front, I'll just fold this along the allowance here. So, and then I'll cut the front all the way around. And when I want to cut the back, I'll just open this up and then I'll cut the back all the way round. Before I end this, let's talk about the pockets, because I want to put in pockets into the trouser. So just get a piece of paper. Please note that this is how I cut my own pockets. If you know another way, you can just follow that way. So I'm going to measure 1 inch here. So this is the 1 inch. So this will be the side allowance. So on this line here, I'll just place my hand. I'll place this part of my hand right on that line, and then I'll spread out my fingers this way. So then I'll mark the highest point. I'll mark the tip of my fingers here. I'll mark this one also. I'll mark this one. then I'll mark this, this. So each fingers, then I'll just do this. And now I'm just going to connect the lines too. So yeah, this is the pocket. So all I have to do is to just add ½ inch allowance all the way around, and then I'll cut it out. So when I'm cutting on my fabric, I'll just cut 4 pieces of this. So that's how I cut my own inseam. It's an inseam pocket. So that's how I cut my own inseam side pocket. So if you know another way, you can use that, but this is what works for me. So you got the drift. Now that's basically everything we are doing for today's tutorial, because today's tutorial is focused mostly on the pattern drafting. In my next tutorial, we'll be sewing the trouser, gathering it up, and all of those things that we need to do. And that's all for today's tutorial, guys. And in part 2 of this oversized baggy pants tutorial, I'll be sewing up the trouser, I'll be attaching my waistband, and also fixing in my inseam pocket. So don't forget to subscribe and stick around so you don't miss the next part. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.